this man never expected. After the whole class was summoned to another world, he actually awakened the rarest assassin class. Not only were all his stats 10 times higher than everyone else's, he even had a max level stealth aura skill. At that moment, the class president was logging his attributes into the crystal. He was the only hero among the entire class. His attack power was an impressive 1000, but Jack was puzzled when he saw it, because his own attack power was 1200, which clearly defied logic. If exposed, it could be very dangerous, so Jack decided to bet on his max level skill. After using it, he truly seemed to vanish. No one noticed at all. After the login process, they rested under the king's arrangements, but Jack was curious about his other skills, so he snuck out in the middle of the night, but he found that even without using any skills, his physical abilities were ridiculously high. Could this be the legendary summoning bonus? Then Jack activated Stealth Aura and entered the king's study, and discovered the king seemed to harbor ill intentions. On the surface, they claimed to summon heroes to defeat the demon king, but in reality, they were planning something else entirely. The next day came quickly. Jack intended to deactivate his stealth skill and tell everyone what he had overheard, but the problem was how to make them believe him. At that moment, the class president spoke up. They had become stronger after arriving in this world, and must use that power to help the people here. So he decided to accept the king's request to defeat the demon king. The classmates were all very supportive after hearing this. This left Jack at a loss for words. It seemed they had already assumed the king was an ally, so Jack could only wait and see what the king's true plan was. By afternoon, the Knight Commander organized training for the whole class. In 6 or 7 days, they would head to the dungeon to level up. Jack didn't plan to join them. He wanted to continue gathering intelligence, but unexpectedly, the commander delegated the training to his subordinates and came looking for Jack. This surprised Jack. He hadn't deactivated his stealth aura. Could the skill have a time limit? The commander said Jack's skill hadn't failed. He could see Jack because he possessed a magic eye, which allowed him to detect temperature differences nearby. Jack thought a fight was inevitable, but the commander said he wouldn't tell the king or princess. He had his own reasons and was on Jack's side. The two exchanged information. Upon learning Jack's stealth skill was maxed out, the commander was shocked. That was a level only the first generation hero had ever reached, but Jack's other skills were all level 1. He didn't know how to level them up. The commander was happy to help after hearing this, so he began special training with Jack in the days that followed. Although class level could only be raised by killing monsters, skill levels could be improved through training. Of course, this wasn't free. The commander was curious about Jack's original world and wanted to learn more. Jack naturally satisfied his curiosity. After spending time together like this, Jack gained a general understanding of this world's information and learned the commander's true intentions. Because the king's mind had deteriorated, he had paid a great price trying to twist the laws of this world, but the king had once shown kindness to the Knight Order. The commander wanted to peacefully remove him from power. Jack expressed his willingness to help. Soon it was the second day. The whole class headed to the nearby labyrinth for their trial as planned. They drew national attention along the way, but Jack noticed a different kind of gaze, so he quietly circled around to the back. The girl wasn't surprised by Jack's appearance. Instead, she asked if Jack knew the sacrifices made to summon a hero. After speaking, she turned and left. Then Jack arrived at the nearby labyrinth. After 6 or 7 days of training, his classmates could barely handle the challenges, but just as they finished leveling up and prepared to leave, they found the exit surrounded by a horde of monsters. The class president remembered the item the princess had given it to be used in a moment of crisis, but when he threw it, it summoned a high-level monster, a minotaur. Jack rushed forward to help, but even with